Masechta Shabbos, Perek Yud Ches, Mishnah Aleph. Mefanen afilu arba v'chomer shkupa shel tevin v'shel tvua m'bnei orchim b'nei bittul bis medrash. This parak is going to deal with exceptions to the Isid Rabbanon against exerting oneself on Shabbos. The Mishnah is going to discuss cases where the Chacham were matir certain tirchas for the sake of a mitzvah. So mefanen afilu arba v'chomer shkupa shel tevin v'shel tvua. We make clear away even 4 or 5 large boxes of straw or grain, despite the effort that's involved. 4 or 5 is not intended to be precise. The intent is that there's no limit to how many boxes may be cleared away. Even 4 or 5 big boxes, it's fine. Avaloi, to make room for guests, to make room for students, and to prevent them from being absent in the Beis Medrash. Since hosting guests and studying Torah are mitzvahs, the Chachamim were mated the tircha in these cases. Avaloi is ha'oitzer. However, one may not empty out the storehouse, exposing the earthen floor, because one might smooth out the bumps and holes in the ground, which is a form of the malacha of Baina. Being mashri gumais is a problem of Baina. Mefanin truma tahira. You make clear away truma, which is tahar, which is not muksa because the kohen can eat it. Truma is the first portion that must be separate from produce grown in Eretz Yisrael. It may be eaten only by a kohen or the members of his household. Nevertheless, it's not muksa even to a non-kohen because it may be eaten by a kohen. Although the Chachamim lifted the Isser of excess tircha for a mitzvah, they did not lift the Isser of muktzah. Later on, the Mishnah will list a number of items that may not be cleared away because of muktzah. However, before doing so, the Mishnah lists items that are not muktzah, may therefore be cleared away for the sake of a mitzvah, even if there's going to be a tircha involved. So number 1 would be truma. Number 2 is demai, food that was from an Amaretz. The halacha is that a poor person is allowed to eat demai, so being that it's roi la'aniyim, so then he could, and anybody could be mafkir nechasim and become an ani. It can become roi for him. Also, the question is, are you allowed to be mafkir all your nechasim on Shabbos? There may be a problem, but that's a separate question. Ma'aser Rishon to nitl trumasai, Ma'aser Rishon whose trumas ma'aser has been separated, which is fit for anybody. Ma'aser Sheni hektish and niftu, Ma'aser Sheni and hektish, which is produce that you consecrated for the Beis Hamikdash that have been poida, which is also fit for anyone to eat. And the dried lupine, which is food for the poor. What is this? They're so bitter that they're usually not eaten. Nevertheless, they're not muktzah because they're eaten by poor people. The Mishnah specifies the dry ones because the fresh ones are not edible at all. All of these items are not muktzah because they're eaten by at least some people. However, one may not clear away tevel, which is muktzah because it may not be eaten by anybody. And neither can you move Ma'aser Rishon if Trumas Ma'aser has not been separated, which also may not be eaten by anybody because it's Tevel. You can't eat Ma'aser Sheni outside Yerushalayim or Hektish that you weren't part of them because Ma'aser Sheni is also after Yerushalayim and Hektish is also everywhere. V'loyas haluf, roluf, which is the type of bean which is inedible. V'loyachardal, and not mustard seeds which are also inedible. All of these items may not be cleared away on Shabbos because being unfit for eating, they are muktzah. Reb Shimon Gamliel Mater beluf b'nei shemachal arvim. Reb Shimon Gamliel permits clearing away raw luf on Shabbos because it's food for ravens and thus not muktzah. Although raw luf is not eaten by most animals, it's fed to ravens. Therefore, it's not muktzah because wealthy people, or a sign of a wealthy person, would be to raise ravens in their house, and they would have to feed them, so they would serve them luf. Mishnah Beis Chavilei kash v'chavilei eitzim v'chavilei zradim. Regarding bundles of straw, bundles of soft twigs, and bundles of freshly pruned branches on Shabbos. If one designated them before Shabbos as animal food, one may move them on Shabbos. But if he did not designate them before Shabbos as animal food, he may not move them on Shabbos. These items are usually used as fuel, since they are muksa, unless they're designated for a permitted purpose, such as animal food. Generally, it's forbidden on Shabbos to put a non-muksa item under something that's muksa. But there is an exception to the rule, because this would be, it's mutter for item, if a davar ha-mutter holds or supports a muksa object, the base itself becomes muksa as it busts the davar ha-asr. Therefore, one may not put a davar ha-mutter under something that's muksa, because one thus makes a bottom item muksa, and it's forbidden to make something muksa on Shabbos, because canceling a utensil's usefulness is called bittul kli mehechanoi, and by causing it to become muksa and unmovable, it's asur midrabanan because it's like cementing a utensil to a structure, which would be the toda of boinem. So we may overturn a basket in front of little baby chicks, so they'll climb up and down on it. This is allowed even though the chicks are muktzah, because they'll remain on the basket for only a very short amount of time. If the hen escaped from the house and it's in danger of getting hurt or lost, we may prod it from behind until it enters the house, even though the hen is muktzah. Moving in this way is mutter in order to bring it to a safe place. Normally it's forbidden to even prod an animal on Shabbos because it's inevitable that one will move at least part of it. The halacha is that moving even part of a muktzah item is also prodding an animal is mutter only for the purpose of protecting it. We may make calves and young donkeys walk through a Rishus Harabim. That means that one may grasp the animal's neck or sides and pull it gently so that it walks on its legs. Since an animal is muktzah, it's mutter only to protect it. This is mutter only to protect it from harm or suffering. As for the malacha of hoitzah, there's no isra over here because chaynei say it's atzmai. Isha medadas bena, a woman may make her child walk through Rishus Harabim by grasping his arm and pulling him. Rabbi Yehuda Emasai, when are we talking about? Zok Rabbi Yehuda, when are we talking about? If he lifts one foot and puts down the other, he walks on his own and she's just assisting him. But if he's dragging his feet, it's also to pull him because dragging is considered hoitzah. And we don't say chaynei say it's asmai. This is also only asam d'Rabban, it's not asam d'Oraisa because of chaynei say it's asmai. Right. Mishnah Gimel, ein meyaldinas abehema b'yamtiv. We may not deliver an animal of its young on Yantif. It's certainly not on Shabbos. Shabbos is more chamer by drawing the baby out of the womb because it involves excessive tircha. Avol Masadun, we may assist the delivery in Yantif by holding the baby as it comes out. Since it's not such a tircha, even assisting an animal is allowed only on Yantif and not on Shabbos. The Chachamim lifted some of the Isurei Muktzah in regard to moving animals when necessary for the animal's well-being, l'mashal, for helping the animal give birth. We may deliver a woman of her child on Shabbos and certainly on Yantif, even by drawing the baby out of the womb. As the Mishnah will say, a person may be Michal Shabbos and certainly Yantif to perform any malacha that's needed for a woman that's giving birth because it's a sakana. And tircha, which is not even a malacha, is definitely going to be mutter. But we may call a midwife for her, even if the midwife must travel from one place to another and leave the tchum. We may be Michal Shabbos for her in any other manner as well because her life is in danger. Meaning you may even do things which are asa deraisa, like lighting a candle, carrying oil for her. The Gemara says that the malachas that you're allowed to do for her are not only for her physical health, but even to put her mind at ease, because peace of mind is also necessary for her survival. The Kershin as a tabor, we may tie up the umbilical cord of the newborn, without shortening its length, because otherwise we'll get caught in something and endanger the child. But we may not cut it off until after Shabbos. Cutting the umbilical cord is also because of goizes, because it involves cutting excess skin from the body. Rabbi Yossi says you may even cut it off because otherwise the mother might accidentally tug at it, which would be a sakana for the child. And we may do whatever needs to be done for a bris milah on Shabbos. And this will be the introduction to Perek Yutes, which will be the next parak, Rabbi Eliezer de Mila, which discusses Hilchas Milah and how that would work on Shabbos.